Morning. Just won't stop raining. And I got stuff to fix. So, gonna hook up the trailer to a chain, pull it out of the mud. My truck will stay on gravel. Then we'll hook up to the header and get it on the trailer so that I can bring it to the main yard and start fixing it, because we're not moving equipment yet. We're just not doing it in the rain, but I can't let it slow me down. We'll bring it to the yard and then we'll come out a little bit later, hopefully when the rain starts, and work on the grain cart. It looks like it's actually stopping raining here, so we're just gonna fix the grain cart and load the header up all at once and then not have to come back. Nice. It rained all day yesterday and it literally just stopped. So I'm not gonna drive in the field. So I think I'll just pull the grain cart up. It's full, but I think I won't get stuck. We'll see what happens, but I don't want to drive in there and I don't want to unhook you. Things are just so muddy. This is not at all where I wanted to be or how I wanted to be positioned, but I got like that far and then I couldn't steer anymore, because it drives good at first until the tracks, like the lugs, fill up, and then you just start slipping, and yeah, this is where we end up. But I think I'll be able to just back up till I get stuck, which should be fine. It always sucks that the grain cart's loaded when we end, but this time it's because it's broke, and that's why we're here, and we got to get it fixed before we can unload it. So we have to do something, and it's not getting any drier anytime soon. So we got all the parts. We will put this thing back together. Hopefully it goes pretty nicely. I was trying to think to myself, how am I going to get this with that in there without it all coming apart? But I think we'll start with that, put it in, put the bolt through, a little bit of the way to hold this, and then we'll get that shaft in. And I think it'll work pretty well. We got that in there where it needs to be. And now we will get this brace on here with this grease line and get the bearing centered where it needs to be. Then we'll lock it all down. But then once we get it empty, we have to come back. So once we get it empty, we do have to come back, because this is the second shaft like this that we have bent. I noticed it was bent. That's why I had ordered this one. So there's obviously an issue in here somewhere causing it. I talked to Elmer's and they say you need to readjust your upper tube. So we're going to get everything emptied out. The tube still slides because the bearing on top slides. We get it all emptied out. We can get the bottom auger positioned on the bottom spline with the locking collar up top where we need it. And then we'll readjust this top one to hopefully not bend shafts anymore. And I will be pissed if we use this once and this shaft is bent, but then that's on us. So risk we're going to take instead of dumping, I don't know, $100 of sunflowers on the ground. I don't know if that's worth it. We'll have to do the math on that one. I got carried away and I didn't plan it very well, and now the grease line is not connected and I'm not going to be able to connect it. I think what I have to do is pull this shaft out and then be able to spin my bearing to tighten this line and then put the shaft in. So see what happens. We got this bracket all bolted down tight and high up as possible, and now we're gonna try and slide this bearing up as much as possible. Hi Bubbles, what's going on? Come check things out. We're gonna get this bearing slid up as much as possible, and then we'll lock down our collar. And then we're going to try and back up as far as we can until we get stuck. That was a true testament to how many times can I put it together backwards before I get it right. Either way, as long as you get it right once, should be good. So we're done with this now. Let's get it in there somewhere. We're moving. Uh-oh. We're losing her, boys. That might be all she wrote. That's going to be it for you. Now let's go get my combine and unload the header. It really sucks having to adjust that top link every time we hook and unhook, just because of the angle that this thing needs to run. So I'm going to modify the header bracket a bit to make that go a bit smoother as well when we're working on it. Anyways, we should be good now. Yeah. Just like that. Now, oddly enough, I still smell smoke, which there's no way this thing's been smoking for 2 days in the rain, because it rained all day. So we're gonna take a look inside the feeder house and see if we see anything. It's so good in the mud, like, that's nothing for ruts. I love that. Anyways, we're gonna face it with the back end into the wind just because I smell that. I don't think anything's smoldering, it must just be residual smell. But either way, we'll park it away from the equipment and facing backwards. This is some sticky stuff. Nice clay. All right, let's get out of here. We made it here nice and easy, no problem. Header's disgusting, everything's disgusting. But we gotta fix that up. And a bunch of these are loose now. We gotta tighten them and re-angle some. Some got a little tweaky, but this side needs a bit of work too. Not too bad. Man, I was gonna say I'm pissed that I spent the time this year welding these pieces on and just screwed it up. But maybe they helped, because those things added a ton of strength. So, I don't know, maybe it was a good thing, but it was so nice, and now it's all screwed up again. Anyways, let's, we gotta get this auger back together. Kevin put the gearbox in it today, I think, already. So now we just need to weld the flighting, and then we'll work on you, I think. Let's do it quick. Hello, old friend. No more hole. Now we just need to add our piece of flighting on there, and then I think I'm gonna take the rest of this, cut it in half or cut it in pieces, and then down here at the bottom is where the flighting's kind of worn out, and we just need to get it moving away quicker because the other hopper is overloading this one. So I think I'll just spin that stuff on and weld it on, and you know, it'll give us another 1/2 inch because this stuff's pretty thin. So I think that'll work out really well. And like, I got way too much flighting. I'm never gonna use it again. And I'm never gonna wanna pull this out again. So it's literally the best time, and I think it'll help this auger a ton. Feel good about that. So this is gonna be tough, but we'll figure something out. Worst part is that's 2 3/8 shaft, and that's 3-inch diameter, and that's 2.5-inch diameter inside for the flighting. So we're gonna have to do a lot of filling. That is awfully close, and I like how it's sitting. It's fairly even all the way around. And the spiral is the same pitch, I guess. So that's really nice. We are gonna get a deep vice grip on here, close up this bottom gap, and then we'll start welding it in, because I think that might change how the rest of it sits. It was gonna be a pretty big gap to fill, so I think the plan is I kind of lowered the gap there, made it weldable in one pass, and now we're just gonna kind of tack it as we go and use the strap to pull it in tight against the tube. Seems like a fairly decent plan, actually. I kind of saw it coming, but not this badly. That gap it's gonna be hard to close with a strap. I don't know about that. I gotta figure something out. Or we might just cut this off and do it the way I originally intended. I just thought this might be better. A big hammer was the ticket. Just a little extra help and we got there no problem. So we'll just keep working it out. That's nice, I like that. We're making it up as we go along. I talked to Kevin and he had the best suggestion yet. Get a 3-inch pipe, slide it over here, and then weld it on, and it'll close all your gap, which that would have been the way to go, 100%. I'm too far in now though. When it came to pulling and tightening the gap here, the angle on the twist just got way too screwed up. Like it's not close anymore. It really just kind of collapsed over itself. So we're gonna put another piece on, we're gonna get it, it's gonna be good. Just a little more screwing around. We're getting there. We will make this look all right, I think. It's just gonna take some loving. She looks ugly, and you would be right. It's a beautiful disaster, but we're getting it, it's all joined up. We're gonna leave this extra bit on so that when we slide it into the next flighting, I can cut it exactly where things line up. We gotta do something about that. And right now we're just spinning it and welding it all the way along just to take up the gap, and then we'll work on joining that, which also should be fun. All right, we're done on the welding on this side. I mean, it's not great. by any means, but it's a lot better. And obviously, if I could have gotten the right flighting, it would have been way better, way nicer, all the rest. But this company doesn't sell you flighting. Bueller doesn't, but Westfield does, so this is for a different auger, and I put it on this flight. Now we will go down to that end and see what we want to do there. Now we're going to tune up this side. This is the intake, and you can see like that's a huge rounded corner. So we're going to overlap this, give us about a 1/4 inch on either side, so a 1/2 inch extra flighting, 2 feet up. We'll do both of these because it's a dual flight here and should feed a lot better. This auger is going to have a new lease on life. It's going to be good. We got this one piece in, now we're doing our second piece to make both flights good. And like just the sheer amount we're adding on the front leading edge, it's gonna, I think it's gonna wake this thing up a lot, which is what it needs. So let's get that on. Here's where we're at. The flighting is all good to go now. So now we're looking at the auger. We got the new box in here and we're talking about it. We've done all this. I think we're gonna put another new gearbox in up here because the splines are really bad on it and it's leaking and it was, yeah, not great. And they're 800 bucks. That's a steal of a deal. But the splines, those things are absolutely toast as well. And it's not great. So I don't know what we're gonna do there. Kind of thinking we just get a spline piece and weld it on just like they have here, but that seems like a lot of work. I don't know if this bolt will hold though. Okay, we got, this is the piece I worked on. This is the next piece in the flight. And now we're gonna figure out where we need to cut this one so that it lines up good with that one. I think we'll do something right around here because this piece looks like it goes down a bit lower. I don't know, something like that. And then it'll be ready to go in there. And we're just gonna say screw the gearbox, it'll be fine. That's not bad, more or less. It's pretty close. We'll just use the hammer and pound this one down a bit and this one up a bit, make them line up a bit nicer, and we'll be in business. That's not bad, I can live with that. The gap's a bit bigger than I'd like, but it'll work. I gotta go talk to Andrew. We got a couple things we want to talk about. Trucks, concrete, that sort of thing. And then I'm gonna head home, I think. Me and Andrew just had a very important meeting. We like our rebuilt vehicles. My truck's rebuilt, this semi's rebuilt. I've had a lot of rebuilt vehicles, my wife's van, all of it. And we've been kind of thinking about this plan of getting into rebuilt vehicles for the farm. So there's some interesting looking vehicles, good trucks, and I'd love the farm to have them instead of me paying for them. So we'll see what we do. And we also talked about concrete. I think we're going to start getting quotes and see if we can't get that done. And we can do it in the winter because it's heated, so maybe we'll do concrete here too. Anyways, that was today. I'm sure it'll be a long time till we're in the fields. It's wet, so hey, appreciate you guys hanging out, and we'll see you on the next one.